Hello everyone, my name is Priscila de la Peña and I'm a part of the social service of Promoción de Paz. And today I'm going to share with you the topic of talking about cultural habits of different countries. If you have any questions, like we've been um, dealing it with in our other presentations, you can contact me via my electronic mail, which is a0082634 and I'll be glad to answer. So first of all, what is cultural habits? So what are cultural habits? Cultural habits are accepted behaviors within a group of people sharing some common backgrounds, such as language, family heritage, education, and socializing environment. Cultural habits can be seen in several aspects of our lives, such as traditions, social life, dress and appearance, food and eating, values, attitudes towards time, etc. Here are some examples of cultural habits around the world. So in Japan, people greet each other with bowing. I don't know if you've seen um, someone say hi in Japan, but they go like this. A bow ranges from a small nod of head to a deep bend at the waist. In Switzerland, people burn a snowman on a stake when the first flower begins to bloom. It marks the ending of a winter dark days. While dining in China, feel free to slurp. It shows your appreciation for food. In Nicaragua, using your index finger to point to things is considered rude. They use their mouth instead. They make a dog face with their lips. Okay, so these are important to know, which is impossible for us to know all of the cultural habits around the world. But before you visit an unknown country, you wanna maybe look them up so you don't be rude um, when you do a cultural habit that is okay in your country, but maybe it's not okay in theirs. And I want you to look up the underlined words um, for homework. So opening question structure to ask for information. So question words, you can use the word what, where, when, who, how, why. Auxiliary verb, you can use do, does, did, have, has, is, are, was, were. For subject, I, you, he, she, it, they, you, we. The main verb is the action and extra information. Okay, so for today's activity, um, we're gonna listen to the second part of the conversation about indigenous festivals, discuss why they say that is similar to the Kulgurism. Laura. Hello, my friends. As we agreed, I will tell you about a cultural habit I discovered, the powwows. I went to one in Phoenix, Arizona. My cousin who lives there invited me last summer. What is a powwow, Laura? It's a festival where Native Americans, their families, and friends get together to celebrate their culture. What do you mean by Native Americans? The first Americans, the people who inhabit the US when the Europeans arrived. You mean Americans of indigenous origin? That's right. I see. And how do they celebrate? They sing and dance. So it's a day when Americans of indigenous origin meet to sing, dance, and pay tribute to their culture. Exactly. That's why it's called a powwow. And the word means meeting. And who organizes a powwow? Powwows are organized by committees that work hard for weeks before the event. And where do they get together? In different places, generally where there are people who belong to native nations. And when does the ceremony actually start? Well, the ceremony begins with the grand entry, a parade of the native nations, veterans, carrying various flags, including tribal flags. Who attends a powwow? Usually anyone, But there are strict rules. Alcohol is strictly forbidden on the reservation territory and have to ask for permission to take photographs or videos. Why do you need permission? Because some elders consider it disrespectful. What are interesting celebrations? It's a bit like jello juice. So now you're gonna work alone to complete the questions in the graphic organizer, then answer them with information from the conversation in exercise 1. Finally, turn to practice asking and answering these questions. So we learned that powwow was an event taken place in Arizona by the Native Americans that first arrived before the Europeans. So you're gonna wanna answer each of these questions and answer it in the box. Formulate a question and then answer it in the box. So for example, what is a powwow? So we learned, here it says, what is a powwow? And it's a festival where Native Americans celebrate their culture. Where? I'm just gonna give you, where does it take place? Here it says, I went to one in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay, so you wanna complete the rest for homework, and thank you very much.